Faces. We all have them. Some more detailed than others. Regardless, us as artists seem to struggle with drawing them. Normally, I would rely heavily on references without practicing the fundamentals, and I was able to create some pretty decent art pieces without executing it properly. So let's see how good I can get at drawing faces in just 3 days, and what I can learn. The plan was to watch a bunch of videos, practice, and then try to create an art piece at the end of each day by using what I've learned. So I went to YouTube and searched for a few tutorials, and here's what I learned on day 1. The head is mainly divided into 3 parts: the mask, the neck, and this circle. This circle is very important. After I got some references and then broke them down, I drew over them, highlighting these 3 main parts, then tried to draw the shapes on my own. I was wondering if I bit off more than I could chew for this first drawing, because most of my previous work were very basic head positioning, but this at its core was just a 3/4 angle shot, so I drew it as such, fleshing out the neck and the eyes along with the nose. That's not actually bad. It was a lot easier than I thought. Drawing number 2. So I tried something a bit more dynamic, getting in a lot of the neck, and even though I traced the original drawing, I still had no idea where to put some of the features because of the angle of the head. It's not great, but you know, it's pretty bad. I was supposed to do 2 more pieces, but I got caught up with painting this last piece. This was another 3/4 angle shot, but it was a lot more dynamic because of the angle which it was taken in. I really like this one, but it's not the best. So I moved on to the final boss, which was none other than Jenna Ortega. I thought this reference was perfect for a first try. Not only is she beautiful, but she also has really good facial features. Not that I did any of them any justice, because what is this?
What the hell? Oh my God.
This gave me a hard time, really and truly. Just trying to get the features to align so it looks more like the reference was very challenging. And with that, day 1 has come to an end. Day 2, I started off with watching some videos again, but then I got distracted by the new League of Legends Arcane trailer. I went on a whole other side quest, spending most of the day doing this art piece right here. I have no regrets, and technically this could be considered as practice as well, because I did implement some of the methods that I learned the previous day into this art piece. I learned 3 more ways to master the head, which is to study the skull, the Loomis method, and using cubes. But we're on a time crunch, so I chose the Loomis method because it's a lot simpler, plus it's kind of similar to the method we learned yesterday. After that, I went on a hunt, searching far and wide in the vast Pinterest library, discovering these 3 references. So just in case you're a noob just like me, the Loomis method uses a circle, and you're basically gonna turn that circle 3D-ish by adding this oval to the side, and also adding guidelines to separate the face. You can take this a step further if you want to be more realistic with the drawings, but that's not what we're trying to accomplish. This method felt a lot more comfortable, especially since the guidelines were there to help with the positioning of certain features. I definitely had to tweak some lines because I'm something of a perfectionist, which is not a bad trait to have when you're an artist. Honestly, I have to give this one a 4 out of 10. The hair and the shoulders were really hard, and it kinda looked wonky. After tracing the first drawing, I thought it would be better for me to try drawing the shape without tracing them. So the second drawing took a lot longer than usual, and I also had no idea what to do with this part of the face. The neck on this one was bent way too much, so I'll have to give this one a 3. The last drawing for the day was my favorite out of the 3. It felt like I got the angle down where I wanted it, and the final product kinda looks like the reference. I tried to do something different with the eyes so I can get it to look more anime style, but it still had a bit of realism. To be fair, this last piece was a leap because it had a little bit of anatomy, but this is a challenge, so I jumped at it. I really think I'm getting better because the head was the least difficult part of this drawing, not to mention how clean the overall finished product looked. I mean, just look at it. I loved it so much that I was gonna color it, but then I crashed out of motivation because it was 3 AM in the morning. Day 3, we're basically finished, and I was feeling pretty good about the progress I've made. But then I realized something. The drawings that I've been doing so far are realistic, and I'm an anime artist. At least, that's a style I would like to replicate. But how are we gonna fix this problem when stylizing your artwork usually takes years? There's absolutely no way I'm gonna get this done by the end of the day.
Why don't you just use anime as your reference instead of real people?
I'm gonna use anime as my reference instead of real people. I gathered these 3 images and then tried to use the Loomis method to break them down. I also started to time myself because the previous sketches would take me about half an hour to complete. So with 15 minutes on the timer, I tried drawing Maki. At this point, I had a pretty decent understanding of the Loomis method. So I just paid close attention to the positioning of the nose, the eyes, and the ears, and how far away these features are in relation to one another. I was able to wrap this drawing up little over 15 minutes. The next reference was a lot harder because of the angle of the head. Honestly, looking at this, I was a bit delusional thinking I could even manage this. The angle of the head was hard, not to mention it had some anatomy in it as well. Oh my god, this is cursed. Looking at it after I finished though, I thought using the cube method probably would have been better, but overall this drawing took me 25 minutes and it still looked pretty trash. But I couldn't dwell on my failure because I had no time. I redeemed myself with this next drawing of Power. I really liked this one. It came out pretty good. The perspective was spot on, it looked a lot like the reference, and I did all this utilizing the Loomis method. So I felt pretty confident going forward. For the last sketch of the day, I used a real person as a reference but applied what I learned from drawing the anime faces to this drawing. With the combination of the Loomis method, the anime knowledge, and the boost of my ego from the previous sketch, I finished this challenge strong, creating the cleanest sketch all week. I even colored this one. You can check it out over on my Instagram. But with that, this challenge has come to an end. I'm pretty proud of what I was able to accomplish, and it's kinda crazy that it only took me 3 days. The videos that I watch throughout this week will be linked down below, and if you guys want to see more videos from me, please smash that subscribe button.